1st and 10 now from the 33.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Check it. Slam.
Hey, Haywood.
Check.
56. Mike, 56. Right there.
On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Check 56. Hey, watch your leg.
Motion.
Alert. Play 56.
From the 36, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Keep playing hard.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down. Brown signed with the Bills in March. Last year he was in Baltimore, 4 seasons in Arizona prior to that, but they're hoping that Brown can add a lot of speed to this offense, which he should. Last year in Baltimore, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. From the 27, Allen. Looking sideline, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. 3rd down here. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's Allen. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Buying time to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Mike's 56.
Hey, check.
Check.
Alert.
Check.
56. Mike, 56.
Let's go.
Right there, 56.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Jam.
Check three.
Hey, home.
Mike 56.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that's complete to Brown. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. So that throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Allen hit. He lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Hey, come on, 49.
From the 38, Haskins. Throw left side, complete to Moss. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibson. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
You ready?
At their own 32-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. This will be caught by Brown. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard.
56 is the Mike.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to...
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him.
Run it. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. You.
Now Haskins on 1st down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called.
And this is caught at the 20. A big play here for the Bills. 55 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
Escaping the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And all the way up to the 41-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
I suspect this is one of those calls the defensive coordinator would love to have back.
Absolutely.
Feels like he took a bit of a gamble here. And I remember when I was playing, when we had a team really backed up, there was a talk about, let's go ahead and get upfield and get a safety. And sometimes that works against you because they really hit them big, didn't they?
They did. They were hoping for a couple yards of breathing room. They got a lot more than that. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Washington. And even 40 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And he's got it. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. From 19 yards away. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Mike, it's been a long day for you. Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight end.
From the gun, it's Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
On play action, Allen toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
He's coming.
To the air, Allen. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
It's our time. Back.
5 wide.
Allen going to give this one to Singletary. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. Now Allen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. A final shot before half for Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Stephon Diggs. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and goal.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Haskins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. It's Geis on the counter. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They go right back to Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. I got you.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Allen. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out, He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's get the ball.
2nd down, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Now on 2nd and 13, Haskins, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
56. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
On 2nd down and 4, Allen. It's complete to Diggs. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
56.
On 2nd down, Singletary. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Bills on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. And here's Allen operating from the gun. And John Brown's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball out, try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On first down, Singletary. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up second and...
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. From the 39, Allen, and he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he gets it down to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Finding Knox there, complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. He's going to let it fly. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. Now Allen again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
This will be taken short. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So a victory here for the Washington Redskins, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Redskins, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.